Welcome to the SS Quirky McGee, otherwise known as the Grace M9xx. This is a Massdrop exclusive, and when I bought the Panda stack there, everyone called me an idiot and said you should have bought this instead because that was $500 and this is $500. So let's review. Pre-outs, variable pre-outs, Toslink in, USB in. Now it's two USBs, and I'll go over why there's two, because that one is power only, and if you can run it on a single USB, she'll come on, she'll work just fine. But the secondary USB, it comes with this very, very, very black box. This is a linear power 2 amp USB plug, and if you plug that in, you get high power. So the front has dual 1/4 inch. The difference between the left and right is the left, when you plug it in, the outputs in the back still work. The right, when you plug it in, the outputs in the back mute. Okay, follow me so far? Okay, so I didn't use the USB cables that come with are, I'm not joking, the heaviest, dutiest cables. I mean, look at this thing. Look at it compared to like the normal one I got. This thing is crazy. And then this one, and I guess you could use either one for either job. This one's even longer and just as heavy. So it's like, these like garden hoses in the world of USB. Beep, beep, beep. There's no on-off switch. It says in the manual, oh, do you want to shut this off? Well, you just unplug it. It's just that simple. It says it's that simple, which is kind of weird. It's like, I want to shut this off. Well, unplug it. Okay. Let's set this to go. Now, we're gonna have to go through the options and the menus in a second. The only control on it is this knob that controls the volume, and you hold it down to access the menu. Hold it down again. Thick metal here, which gives it the weight, because I'm sure the electronics in it weigh nothing. So this entire thing is solid metal. And you got a little case, then you drop it, and it's still fine, which is why it's built solidly. That's perfectly natural. Let's go into the menu. Let's go into the menu. Let's get to the quirky bits of this. So, you hold it down, you enter the menu. Here are your options: CF, U, DD, PL, F1, U1, F5, and 44. And especially number. So, let's start at the beginning. CF. Now, what CF is a crossfeed. This unit has a built-in crossfeed. And if you don't know what crossfeed is, it's when I'm sitting here with speakers, my left ear can hear the right speaker, and my right ear can hear the left speaker, and it's natural. It's how humans hear things. When you hear a car drive by, you hear it in both ears, even if it's on the right side. And what crossfeed here will do, which you enable it by going like that, the little dots indicate on, is it will mix them together, certain frequencies, different volumes, and it'll delay things, and it tries to emulate speakers. And it actually works exceptionally well on this unit. I've had crossfeed on other units where it's just garbage. I've used plugins for FooBar that do DSP crossfeed, and some of them are good, and some of them are a little overpowering, and some of them don't seem to do anything. So to have hardware crossfeed is very interesting and very cool. I'm going to leave it off for now. Next, U. Press it again. 2. U2. If it does not play U2, that switches between USB input and Toslink input. You have to physically go into the menu to do that. So now it's looking for Toslink, but I'm not going to play Toslink, so I'm going to switch it back to U, which is USB. DD. Dim display. So right now there's no dots. If I press it, the dots appear, and when we get out of the menu, if I set the volume, in a couple seconds it will wait there. Display has quote unquote dimmed, showing the indicator there. It's just like, okay, So that is literally what the DD does. That is what DD do. Back to the menu. Shut off that. PL. Let me just double check. Make sure I'm not retarded. Yes. Okay. PL stands for power level, volume on. So I was out of the menu. Hold on. The volume, by the way, on this goes from 0 to 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, all the way up to 99.5. So there's 100 steps. I'm sorry, there's 200 steps of volume on this thing, which thankfully it has a nice fast rotary encoder, and you could just, you know, zoom up and down. But yeah, that every time that little dot pops on, that's a half decibel. A little bit much, but you know, it doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't hurt. So let's say I set it to 50 even. Go into the menu. Now you're on PL. You press it. That lights up. That is the volume level that this unit will come on when you plug it in. So that's what PL stands for. Now F1, F2, F3, F4 are all filters, and I could go through this list here. F1 is the sharp roll-off linear phase, and F2 is a slow roll-off linear phase, and F3 is a sharp roll-off minimum phase, and F4 is a slow roll-off minimum phase. And all that basically means is it sounds slightly different. It does different things. Things are happening differently inside for every, and you're it's not like, oh well, I have these headphones or I have these headphones, which filter should I use? This is completely up to you. It's just the DAC doing different things and the way it amplifies, and okay. And then the last thing, well, not actually second last thing, U1 or U2 if I press it. And I'm not gonna press it because what U1 and U2 are is the USB modes this uses. If you don't know, USB 1 mode is what older USB DACs and amps and stuff, well, DACs mostly, and sound cards use, where you plug it in and there's no drivers, it just works. It limits how high it'll go, but you're in USB 1 mode, you just plug it in and the thing works. If you switch this to USB 2, this will shut off, turn back on, and then it'll be like, alright, I can now do DSD and 32-bit, and it'll want the drivers installed. I tried to do a sound comparison between 1 and 2, and I didn't hear a difference. So, my advice, run it on USB 1 unless you have a real specific reason to run it on USB 2. USB 1, people are actually looking for a lot of things, even the Origin that I love so much, and the Sanskrit, those all require drivers to run because they're all running USB 2 mode. This can at least switch between USB 2 and USB 1. And the last part of the menu is that. It says F5, and I don't know why it flashes that, but then it shows me the output bitrate. So let me see if I can get that to change. Audiophile albums. Still 44. Still 44. Come on, I gotta have something. Alright, 24-bit samples. There, 96. Got anything else? Nope. I thought I had some 88 in here. Who was 88? Andy McKee? No. Alright, whatever. It really makes no difference. That's that. So you have to go into the menu. If you want to know the kilohertz rating of what you're playing, you have to hold that down, rotate all the way right, and then it'll show you. So that is the end of the tour of the features of the Grace. So let's review. Has line outputs that work all the time and will work just fine as you plug that in. But then when you plug into the other side, now those are off. And it does respond to volume and mute. So more along the lines of the pre-outs here for powered monitors or for a power amp like the A500, something like that. If you want it to be 2-volt output, the manual recommends you set this to 90, and that will give you full 2-volt output. That is the happy place. So how does it sound, and how's the power? Well, let's put it in high power mode first of all, which involves us plugging a secondary USB cable in. I want you guys to see the front of it when I do this. Come on. Am I upside down? That's fine. Boom. HP, high power mode. And here's the weird thing. So I have these. And these are not my Mark 3 T50s. These are the Mayflower Electronics version 1s, which are their neutral units. And so they're Mark 3s, so they're going to have the same Mark 3 characteristics of need a train generator to power them. And when I was doing the testing of this unit, what better to use? So I threw, let me lower it down a little bit. I threw some stuff on. Lower the volume. I'll plug it left and right, doesn't matter, there's no difference in what you're going to get. All the left and right does is, if you want to listen to speakers and headphones, you use the left. You want to shut off the back outputs, you use the right. I know, it's quirky, isn't it? Isn't that the quirkiest thing? Oh, and you got to unplug it to shut it off. It's weird. So, am I playing? I am playing. It's a quiet song. It's a very quiet song. It's quiet. Chesky jazz. Still can't hear anything. Oh, there you go. So 47, I'm starting to hear sound. Alright, now it's coming up. And about 88 to 90. Yeah, 90 is I'm hearing. Now let's take it all the way to 100. Or 99.5. And it's loud. According to the specs, at 32 ohm, which is how we all now have to learn and love to read by the specs, this is still not even outputting a watt. The non-Uber Magni puts out 1.2 watts at 32 ohm, and the Uber Magni puts out 1.5 watts at 32 ohm. So, not a super powerhouse, and that's 5 watts by the way, but not a super powerhouse, which sort of blew my mind, because I mean, you're spending $500 and you've got this many steps of go, and you'd expect it to like literally incinerate your headphones. But now, here is the weird thing, which I was talking about. So I'll put this back up to like 85. I'm going to unplug the high power mode. It'll restart the unit and of course crash foobar. Or not crash foobar, but foobar will go into like my audio device disappeared mode. Put it back to where we were. Because I was set to 50. And I'm at 90 again. And it didn't get much quieter. So here, let's get to a loud song. Sorry, Chesky. Oh, Jesus, Static X is a loud song. Okay. So let's see. 80. Loud. I'm gonna plug this in. It sort of dims, it comes back up. But it isn't really any louder. I mean, it's still an 80 and it's... Granted, that is not high fidelity, but that doesn't matter for this test. The point is, when I plug it in and it switches to high power mode, it doesn't actually seemingly get any more powerful. You know, 80 without only the USB seems the same on all the headphones I've tested as 80 with high power mode enabled. And according to the specs, there's a huge discrepancy of the power. 500. It's on Massdrop right now. As I'm recording this, there's 7 days left of this drop, and I want to release this video before this drop ends. So to give everyone there a heads up. Where's Spec? There, Spec. According to this, 32 ohms, and I don't know why it lists 1 channel driven and 2 channel driven. Fuck's using 1 channel. But 32 ohms, you're looking at... I need a piece of paper to put across the thing. Well, that'll work. Yeah, you're looking at 175 milliwatts at 32 there. And then when you go down to here, you're looking at 950. And it's definitely not that sort of swing. I mean, if it was truly underpowered with the USB unplugged, then these would hardly move and there'd be no bass and there'd be all sorts of weirdness going on. Here, we'll check it, we'll chesky jazz it with some other headphones. Here's the X1s. Lower that down. These got loud at like 72. And of course I'm gonna break the drivers again. Let me stop it. Still gonna break the driver. Play again. Maybe I have to take it to like 75 instead of 72. So it's just a weird, I don't know, that's a weird quirk. Like it's got all this extra stuff and you gotta plug it and it says all these, but it doesn't get like crazy loud. Or it doesn't get crazy powerful. It doesn't get Sanskrit fa loud, I'll say that much. So, benefits of this over the Panda Stack. Well, because that's literally, I bought that instead of this, and I think I made the right decision. I don't hate this. It's just, you know, I haven't noticed very few DACs. That's the thing, DACs now have stepped up into the light above, say, an ODAC or a Mahdi or a Sanskrit and screamed, "I'm so much better." Proof in the pudding with the Moyo DAC by Chord. You know, $700. Everyone was just loving that thing. I'm like, well, it sounds good. It doesn't sound bad, but it doesn't sound. Once you get good DAC, then everything should sound exactly the same. And then you're just dealing with amps. So the fact that I'm dealing with good DAC, you know, I don't. This over a shit stack. Why? Shit stack's more powerful. Even the non-Uber shit stack's more powerful. If you want now fiber optic input, you got to get the Uber Mahdi. The Panda Stack here, which I still love and enjoy. The DAC section's right there. It's a completely separate unit. And you've got fiber optic in, and you've got USB in, and you've got coaxial in, and you've got Bluetooth. And then the amplifier also has pre-outs. Switchable pre-outs with a button instead of swapping headphones. And a volume control that, you know, digital people have to get over the digital, but, you know, and the power supply here is, you know, people argue whether it's worth it or not. I just think it completes the stack. So you could take or leave this for an extra $100, and this becomes even cheaper. So you can get the M9xx. Now, this is stronger than the X1S, but just here. Hold on. Na na na, na na. It is so cool. You play. That. I don't want to say one sounds better than the other, but I almost prefer the sound of the own, just from that little, just boom, Beatles, back and forth. So that's $300 or less. This, without the power, is $400. This is still $500. And then you want to bring the ringer into it. Do I have another plug? No, I have to disable this one. Give me a second, sorry. Let's ringer it up, because now we're looking at something like this. And none of you get into like the, oh, he's using X1s, those aren't even high fidelity. Oh yes they are. Do I have this programmed in here? Yes I do. Hey Jude was playing. Actually, hold on. Day in the Life, that's what it was. Ah! And this is on low gain. It's full tilt low gain. And these headphones are pretty loud. Let's switch it to high gain. It mutes, it comes back up. Holy fuck loud. Okay. So $500 buys you the Grace M9xx. And it has some features. And it has some quirks. And it has some power. But I don't know if those things add up to $500 worth of DAC amp. So if you have one, you're fine. I'm not going to tell you to sell it or anything. If you're going to buy one, maybe you wait for something else on Massdrop. In fact, let's go see what else. I feel bad because Massdrop let me this, and I'll feel real bad if I tell no one to buy it. But there's other things on Massdrop. Let's go right now. We'll do some online shopping. Socks. That's where it's at. Where does the audiophile community? What do we have that's an alternative? Oh, look, the Mojo for $5.50. Still too much. Oh, here you go. The FX Audio DAC X6. Now, I've used the FX Audio, I forget the model number of it, but the one that competed with the Pro. What is the power levels looking at here? Has the line level output of the 600 ohm headphones at 32 ohms. It's a watt. It is more powerful than this at a watt at $62. And the back of it is got optical and line out and coaxially. So I don't know how good the DAC is in it. I don't know how clean the headphone amp is in it. But it's 1/8 the price. I'm doing math in my head. 1/9 the price. You know, I'm the cheap. I don't like spending money. Buying that was like, oh my god, my head hurts. So, and buying that was just because it looked cool, and then I realized all the features it had, and I could just take my phone and Bluetooth my phone and have I could actually listen to the absolute maximum fidelity of Bluetooth. This thing is weird. People love it. People were swearing up and down. What else we got? X2O. This is in. Wow. So the only cheap one they got is that FX Audio. So now I may have to join the drop for this. See what's going down with it. Give that its full review. It reminds me a lot of like the 793, but with a USB. There are alternatives. There's lots of things you can get for under $500, and I almost wish I had a shit stack here, just so I could pull it out, point at it, and be like, you can get this. You have to pretend that sis, that shit sis, is a whole shit stack. I wasn't interested in it fully when I saw it on Massdrop. Not for $500, not with the features I read about, and not with the power specs. It's clean. The Mojo was clean. They're both clean. They're both expensive for what they're doing. Very expensive. I don't know. If you're one of those people that just needs DSD, you just need the bleeding edge of audio fidelity, I can't stop you from buying that, for buying this. So just think about it. Just think about it. I don't think it's a be-all end-all. That's for sure. You can output it to powered monitors. It fits nice on your desk. You want something small. It's powered by USB only, which even with the two, it's still a USB-based system. It's still 5-volt based system. That's why, I mean, these are 9-volt based. This has 12-volt push-pull. Even this thing has 15-volt push-pull. There's ways to get power there that USB can't muster. But, you know, it's a grace. It's a nice. It's a Massdrop. It's good. So, take this review, grain of salt, or write a book about it, and go to church.